Hello everyone, this is Fahad Ali with Centro PMO. So today I bring up a new video for you. This is about how to develop a S-curve in the Power BI. So I will explain you the process of data building in Excel and then how to bring that data in Power BI and then how to develop the curve. So I have already one template with me. I will simply delete it. I will show you all the process. So first of all, I would just like to share that you can change the background of your canvas anytime. You can simply go to the canvas background, and in here you can choose the image. From here you can choose any relevant image that you want to show or display as your canvas background for the Power BI. So I have chosen mine. So that's the setting for the canvas image or visual, or you can change the background color and everything. I have explained this whole process in another video. So now I will just simply go to my data. First let me just delete this thing because I want to show you all the steps one by one. First thing first, you will have to get your data. I have my Excel sheet in which my data is placed, so I will import that file into Power BI. As soon as you will click this sheet, you can see the data. So in here you can see the time, which is the date in my case, and then you have the percentages for earned value, right? Currently it is shown as the decimal places, it is not showing the percentages, but in fact the data is percentages. We can transform the data into any type in the Power BI as well. So you can simply go to the load button. My data is being uploading, and now my data is here. So I have two variables in my sheet, which is earned value percentages and the time. So I want to develop a S curve using this data. For the S curve, most of the planning engineers are well aware we need the time on the x-axis and we need the cash flow or percentage or relevant parameter on the y-axis, right? So I will select the line chart at first. You can just expand the visual, and now you can see in this visual, first you will have to add the values for the x-axis, which is in my case it is the time, the date. Okay, so I have selected this one. From here you can hide the date hierarchy or whatever the format you want in your axis. In the y-axis you need the values for earned value, which is by this column. So I will choose this one. And now as soon as I have dropped this value, you can see a curve has been generated over here, right? And the time, the month is the time, the dates are shown on the x-axis with the legend of time, and the earned value, the sum of earned value is showing on here. But here you can observe the value on the y-axis are in decimal places, as I explained earlier. So we can change this one according to our data. Our data is about the percentages, not about the values. So we can change it, and I will show you how we can do it. You can do the custom setting for this whole. You can change the background of this plot area, you can change the color of the curve, you can add the values of the data, you can do a lot of stuff in here, right? So I will just go and explain the stuff whatever is relevant in this case one by one. So you can show the legend, right? So in my case I don't have much curves. If you have number of curves, you might have a planned curve, you might have a earned value curve, you might have an actual curve, right? So there can be different. You might have a curve for the forecast data. So in case if you have number of curves in your graph, you must show the legend in here. So currently I have only one variable for my chart, so I'm not showing the legend because it is quite obvious what it is, but you can show it multiple legend in this visual. So this is how about the chart visual setting, and then about the data. And further setting, you can do it by clicking the format your visual, the color scheme, the legend font, the legend color, everything can be done in the format visual, right? So on the x-axis, I want the continuous data. I don't want the category, right? So my data is continuous. I want this in this format, which is correct for my chart. So here you can define the minimum and the maximum value. So currently it is starting from January. So if you want to show your time scale beyond the January or before the January, you can select it from here. You can select the minimum value and whatever you want to do. I will select say 1 month before this one. So now you can see the curve is starting from January, but my minimum value, my data is starting from this point. So you can change it if you want whatever the data you want to show or whatever the limit you want to show from here, right? So similarly, you can show the maximum value as well, right? Invert range, you can just divert the range in opposite direction, right? Currently my range is starting from the first month or 25, which is the right way. I want to start it from the lowest month and then exceeding months should show, which is showing in the right manner, and this is what I want. But you can change the scale from invert range. Then you can show the values, right? You can show the values of your axis, right? So currently this is all of the setting belongs to my axis. Currently my axis is showing the date, which is correct, and here it is showing the relevant value which we want to change to the percentage. I will change it. Yeah. You can hide the title of the axis, right? As soon as I have clicked, you can see the time is gone. You can't see the time over here, right? You can show the title. I want to show the title. Then there is similar kind of setting for your x-axis or y-axis, right? So on the y-axis, similarly you can select the range minimum value starting from 0, and then it is going by a decimal place of point 0.2, zero point 0.4, zero point 0.6. So you can change the interval, you can change the maximum value, you can change the minimum value, right? You can do all that stuff. Similarly, you can make the values inverted format, which I don't want. I want to show the values, which is correct. I want to show the values. You can change the color from here if you want to change the color of your axis. Let's say I want to keep this color, right? I want to increase the font size just to make it distinguished from the x-axis, and so that everyone can easily identify the values on the y, which is more concerned for everyone, for the audience. Similarly, you can hide the title of your axis. I don't want to see the axis title over here. You can also define your secondary y-axis. I don't have secondary y-axis, but in case if you have secondary y-axis, usually our our S curve is comes up with a S curve, a line, which is a cumulative value of your earned values, and at the same time, sometimes we need to show the histogram, or we want to show the not the histogram, we want to show the secondary y-axis value, which can be not cumulative value, right? Which can be individual value for each period. So you can do the settings over here if you have those values. Currently I don't have, so I don't want to show grid lines. You can currently you can see these are the grid lines, the dash color, grayscale. So I will change the color according to the scale. Right now you can see the color is changed. I will make the transparency 0. You can change the make the grid as solid. Similarly, you can do the same setting for the y-axis, x-axis, sorry, right? You can change the width of this grid. I will keep it as dashed, right? Then you can show the values or vertical Yeah, I want to show the vertical grid as well. I want to keep the same color for my vertical. I will keep it also dashed, right? So this is how you can do your visual settings from here. Then you can add a zoom slider, right? So what is the meaning of zoom slider? Zoom slider will enable you to expand or zoom in or zoom out your scale. So you can see, if you want to see the whole picture of your chart, you can zoom out, which is a full scale. And if you want to go in detail and you want to dig down into further, so you can see, as soon as I am zooming out, zooming in, it is going up to further detail of even first day one with the time. You can increase, it is increasing. So this option is available only in Power BI. You can't do this thing in Excel. Similarly, you can expand your zoom in or zoom out your Y scale as well. So it is a good feature to add in here. So I will just keep it. The line. So apply the, so what are the lines you want to show? Currently, I have one line as I explained earlier. So you can choose. If you have multiple lines, you can choose it from here, right? Uh, then I have the setting for the line itself. So line, this curve, I want to keep it solid. Then I want to make it round. Yeah, that's good. Then width of your line, you can increase it from here. Then you can interpret, you can make it smooth curve, right? It will just give you a smooth shape rather than a, similarly you can make it a stepped format according to the values. So it is just a matter of displaying your visual how you want to see your curve, right? I will keep it smooth. Then what type of smooth you want? The cardinal, right? It will give you a value based smoothness, or if you will keep it monotone, it will give you the monotone very smooth color. So you can choose the color from here. So I will keep the color of my a contrasting color to this one, might be this one. Then you can add the curly shade area. So what is the shade area? The area below the curve. You can add a shade over here, right? It is up to you. You want to show the shade area? No, I will leave up to you. I don't want to show the shade area for my curve. And if you will select the shade area, you can change the color of your shade, right? You can choose it from here, which color you want to show. Then you can add the markers, apply all. Currently it is off. I will make it on. As soon as you can see the marker has been added for all the values. This is the type of my marker. You can choose any. I will keep it square format. You can increase the size of your marker. You can change the color of your marker. I will keep a different color for the marker. Then there is transparency to the color. Then you can show the border as well, right? Border of the marker. So I will just make it off. Then the data labels. You can add the data label. Yes, I want to show the data labels. These are my data labels for my curve. You can do all the settings over here. You can show the position where you want to. You can add the label density. You can add the minimum maximum offsets of the marker values. Then you can change the title. I think I need to increase the label density. I will increase it. Then I will increase the width of my marker. Then you can add the title or you can hide the title of these labels. I will keep it hidden. Now here is the value. So this is the thing which I want to explain to you. So from here you can see the values of which values I want to show. I want to show the values of my time, or I want to show the values of my earned value. Whatever data you want to select, you can select from the values, right? I want to show the value for the earned value, which is correct. Do I want to make it summarized, or I want to make it count, or what I want? So I will keep it sum, which is correct for me. I will keep it as it is. You can change the color of your. I will keep the same color as a marker. You can increase the size, font size, right? I change different color to this one, so it can be distinguished. In the display unit, you can choose whatever you want to show the units. Then I will keep it as multiples, right? Then you can choose the background of your chart. You can show the layout, series label, can get off and on, right? So this is the setting for your data. So now you can see the values. These values are not in the percentage format, which I want it in the percentage format, right? So in order to do that stuff, you will go to transform data, and from here you can see the type of your format is decimal number. You can change it to the percentage. It will ask me replace the current values. Yes, now it is showing me the percentage in this column. I will close and apply. Okay, now display units should be percentage. It should appear as a in. Go to the journal, go to the data format, and then choose the format from here to percentage. Now you can see all of my values are in percentage. So that's all for today. This is how you can build an ASCAP using the Power BI. You can make your visual more attractive using the options I have explained. You can do whatever you want to do and according to your needs. Thank you for watching my today videos. If you want any further consultation about the Power BI visuals, you can just visit my website and contact me at fahad.ali@centropm.com. Thank you.